I think the things that I think about a lot seem like miracles to me.
Really?
Yes, because I think it was a miracle that Clinton I even found each other was a pure accident. No, we neither one knew each other or anybody that knew us. Anyway, so 32 years later, we're still married. But I had a grandson when he was in my daughter's womb. They had found something, doing a test on her, and said there was something wrong with him, and he had a growth on his shoulder, and he probably ought to be aborted. Well, of course, Camille and Scott absolutely did not want to do that. She had their whole church praying. They live in New Jersey, and the whole church was praying and praying. He was born and it was gone. The lump was gone, and that, sold us pretty much because we were praying too, of course. And then there's a thing when Clint went down in the meadow watching the horses and stuff.
Right.
It was, well, the gal came up to get me. I'd gone ahead to give me a ride up to the top, and you guys were walking up, and I was waiting for it. Pretty soon the gal that was a daughter of the people that owned the place came and got me. She jumped out of her truck and said, "Clint's in trouble. Clint, come on." And I just laughed because we never have anything wrong. It's fine. And then she grabbed my shirt and says, "He's in trouble." So I got in the truck and she took me down there. Well, what I found was he was on the ground, and there was the Lone Jack fire department, the rescue people were there, hovering over him. And anyway, so I jumped out of the truck and I went over to see him, and I knelt down there, and I touched his face, and it was wet and cold, and his lips were blue. And I talked to him, and he was answering a question that the paramedic there was talking to him and asking him questions. And the paramedic was saying on this little radio on his shoulder, talk about cardiac arrest. And to me that says his heart quit.
Yeah.
And arrest means quit as far as I'm concerned. So anyway, so all of a sudden I looked back, and I was with you and Sue, and I looked back to where you guys were. And I don't know why I looked back, but I think there was a reason. I looked back, and you were back behind me, probably maybe 20 yards or 10 yards or so behind where I was with Clint. And all of a sudden, I was there with you. You were praying. You were like this, and Sue was down on her knees praying. And I don't know why I looked at you, but then I heard this flutter, a little flutter sound. And I looked back, and there was a flash of light, and where I was supposed to be there with Clint, but I was watching angels covering him. Huge white wings covered his whole body.
Wow.
And it was amazing because I was really there, but I wasn't. I was somewhere watching it.
Yeah.
And then it only happened a second. And then it was gone, and then I was back with him again. And he's fine, of course. He's gone through with flying colors, and that was about 7 years ago. So anyway, that is a miracle. The fact that there were exactly 7 people there to take care of him. There were probably 20 or 30 watching their horses, but there were 7 people there that took care of Clint, and every one of them was equipped to take care of an emergency like that. There was a nurse, an EMT instructor, several EMT people. There were some firemen, a couple of firemen. Anyway, there were exactly 7 people, and they took turns helping Clint, giving him CPR. And later, the next day or so, I called every one of them because I found out their names and stuff, and called every one of them and thanked them. And they said, we never find out the end result of what we do.
Right.
They were so glad that I let them know. I said, he's doing fine, and I just want to thank you for being there. So that and the wings is waking me up. And thinking back, it makes me realize God's always been there for me. I guess I kind of always felt something there, but I didn't go to church. It isn't that I didn't want to, but, well, I sort of left one church because I didn't like it as a kid, and I never went back to another one. And I wanted a Bible. Several years ago, I had this urge for a Bible. And we weren't going to church or anything, but I wanted a Bible. And I think that urge was God talking to me or somebody was talking to me.
Yeah.
So anyway, and then, of course, when we walked into Open Range first time, everything, my whole life has changed. It's like this heaven just opened up and it's just gushing all this goodness. I mean, everywhere, every time we turn around, there's this wonderful, joyous goodness everywhere. I mean, we have friends we never had before. I mean, we lived in Lee Summit for 24 years and didn't have any friends. We had acquaintances, but no friends. Here we have friends.
Yeah.
And it's just, God is so good to us, just so good. And I call our house God's house because I think we were led there. We think we accidentally found it, but I don't believe in accidents. I think we were led to that house. So
The house you're in now.
the house we're in now, yeah.
Yeah.
So we are so blessed and constantly grateful. Feel like I don't really deserve all this. And why is it happening? But I heard that God wants to shower us with goodness all the time.
Child of God.
And so
Yep.
I'm just forever grateful.
Yeah, that's nice.
So that's the story.
Okay.